I keep doing that. Hey, welcome to another episode of Politics and Wellness. Sorry about that. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Sorry, I was rushing, trying to get everything that I need to do in order. And that's crazy. Um, so hopefully you can hear me. If you can hear me, put a one in the chat. If you can't, then I will fix it. Thank you. Hey. Um, Thank you for coming in the room. Hello, Melissa, Scott, Auntie Melissa. How are you, Queen Diva? What's going on? To those of you in the balcony, welcome to another episode, like I said, of Politics and Wellness. Of course, I'm your host, Captivating Christian, and you guys, of course, are my co-host, along with Brother Nate. And just let me know when you're ready, sir, and I will let you on. Okay. Oh, sure, not a problem. All right, so hopefully everybody's having a great week thus far, although it just started. We have so much to get into. I have so much to get into. So without further ado, we're just going to get started. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. All right. Thank you. I know this is not planned, but that's crazy. That's
Good
funny.
evening. How's everybody doing tonight?
Good.
Good. How you feeling? Catch your breath. Catch your breath.
I'm all right.
Where's your cup at?
Rushing and running. Oh, it's here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So just rushing and running, trying to get everything situated. Lot has gone on this week. First, condolences to General Colin Powell and his family. We lost him this week. I remember General Colin Powell in the highlight of my younger years. The Gulf War was a big thing. And he was one of I think the first black general as far as the cabinet was concerned, president-wise, and through George H.W. Bush, as well as serving under Clinton as well, because we were still in Kuwait. Yeah, that was a big loss. And for me, is I have an issue with his politics a little bit, but for me, it's all about overall. It was still someone that we could look up to and aspire to be. So that part kind of overshadows a lot of the politics for me. Now, one thing I will say, although a lot of politicians and Republicans, sometimes Democrats, fall in party lines and will stick with the lie and keep going with it. When he realized, oops, what they told me about the weapons of mass destruction were not true, he did walk it back. And I give him credit for that. But yeah, it was still, another loss. And of course, people are like, because you can't really say it on here, so I'll say the big C. Well, he got the jab, and he also got, and it's like, there's a lot of other factors that we're not, paying attention to. There's age, there's other health conditions that we may not have been aware of. So before we go jumping the gun that, he got the jab and he wound up still getting it. Come on. Like, let's,
I'm glad they clarified that too.
Yeah. Like, let's be a little more logical about that. But yeah, so without further ado, welcome everybody who's coming into the room, because as y'all know, those of you who like to, I'll start rambling and, come back to y'all later, but welcome. But I just want to get started with this first, because we got so much of this to talk about. So here's some updates. All right. So updates on a whole lot of news. And if I forget something, feel free to jump in, Brother Nate, and go, oh yeah, you forgot this one. So first, what I want to talk about is Ahmaud Arbery's trial jury selection started yesterday. And if those of you who don't know about the Ahmaud Arbery case, he is the young man who was jogging down in Georgia. I forgot the county. but it'll come to me at some point.
It's probably bumfuck.
Yeah, who are you telling? And he was, minding his own business. He happened to see a construction site, uh, which he's visited regularly, because the video cam that the owners of the set property have seen him come by there and look around numerous times, that they just hadn't reported it to the police. So these vigilante man-aids people took it upon themselves to be not only the police, but the executioner, and murder this black man. Whole cover up was going on the whole time. We were still dealing with George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and so many other things, that this had happened early on before that, but it didn't, it went underground for the longest time, for many, many months. Those three criminals were free for a minute before pressure, of course, from us. I'm not even going to say the media, but just social media in retrospect, and people sharing these type of stories brought attention to this county, and we realized that this had happened. It boggles my mind, man, how these things go unnoticed and unreported, yet we can talk about, or they will parade things like R. Kelly constantly, all day, every day. And granted, what he did was wrong, but Bill Cosby and all these other things. So with that said, the jury selection has started yesterday. This is the second day of jury selection. First day of jury selection, they did not pick a soul. Out of 600 people, they had it in a gymnasium, so they can keep them separate due to the big C. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. Your thoughts on this whole?
I'm tired.
Join my club. Join my club.
I'm really tired. That's all.
Yeah. No. I get it. I agree. I join in with your sentiment. It is, like, enough's enough. I watched an interview with his mother yesterday when they talked about the jury selection and how does she feel. And she's just like, I just really want a verdict. I just want a verdict. I don't want these people to, go free. They're already talking about ways that they could possibly escape this. And not to mention that the three men who murdered this man have pleaded not guilty.
Now, have you seen the latest body cam when the police officers actually arrived and they were talking with the three men?
Yeah. I've seen.
Okay.
I put that early. It's in one of the midday news things that probably you don't see much traction because it's live footage. And the one cop, which irritated me is they were mostly praising him. Even this one female cop was like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine how you would feel in dealing with this. Oh, it must be so traumatic for you.
Well, the thing
my
that
heart
bothered
goes
me,
out to you. And I'm like, they just killed the man. Like,
well, actually, he was still breathing when they pulled up. While he was laying there, he was still breathing.
Wow, that's crazy. Because I thought he was dead.
One officer walks over, and I guess he's pointing at where he had been shot, but he was still breathing at the time.
Wow. That even makes it extra crazy for me because they treated the murderers as if, this young man had put them through an ordeal, and they were so more concerned about the murderers than they were about the victim at all. Like, there were no EMS called. They were just walking around, kind of, hey, what happened? Mm-hmm. The son is over there, holding his head and and walking around like, and he's like, calm down.
I've seen animals get more sympathy.
Right. And they do from the likes of them. They do. Animals definitely get more sympathy. Um, and that's crazy because you say that. And in the same breath, they always like to call us animals, but clearly they don't even see us as animals. So get into that. Because if they saw us as animals, then they would do the same respect that they do as animals, but they don't. So I don't know. I mean, I really, my hope is for justice, but I just, as the usual thing goes, I see it being something where if charges are brought down, they're brought down to a degree, excuse me, a light almost fell. They brought down to a degree where eventually it'll turn into, oh, when we forget about it and time has moved on, they're talking about, oh, they want to lower their sentence. For what? For what? If that's the case, get everybody else a lower sentence. Retrial everybody that you have in there now. Do that. Find new evidence for them. But if you can't, then, let it be what it is. Oh, and thank you very much. I appreciate that for coming in from Stomp Down, and shout out to him for shouting me out, but I definitely appreciate it. But anyway, yeah, I just find it to be really ridiculous, man. Like, I'm so over the hill with this and these kind of, it's not that big of a deal kind of criminality things, and we just get no justice in the end. But they always talk about how we're complaining. Yeah. So anyway, I'm gonna get off my soapbox with this one, but go ahead. Your thoughts on this anymore?
I'm tired.
No, I get you. So the Aurora gentleman, Elijah McCullen, yes, Mr. McCullen. So the Elijah McCullen case, for those of you who don't know about that, here's another update. That was the young man who, I don't know if he was slightly autistic. I think that was the case.
No, he was anemic. That's why he was dressed that way. Because
he was anemic?
He was anemic, yeah. So he was cold.
Right.
But other than that, just different. That's all.
Okay.
Okay. Normal but different. You know how we are.
Right. Right. So he was on his way coming from work late night and got harassed basically pretty much by the police. They proceeded to accost him, grab him up, slam him on the ground. Of course, he pleaded with them, hey, there's no need for all this. And they continued to rough him up. He explained to them his situation, and, they, of course, did not care. The EMS was called. The EMS employee injected him with some kind of sedative,
which was for the weight of a 200-pound person, and he's like 150, right. Maybe 130. So they OD'd him,
right?
In essence,
right, pretty much.
And he went to cardiac arrest,
and it was in coma. Scene. Right, and he was in a coma for 3 days until he succumbed to the injuries he suffered by the hands of these Aurora police officers.
Yeah.
Now, 2 of the police officers involved in this were fired with no pay. One of them was just fired, but he was able to keep his pay. They all received indictments, which is nothing more than charges. So, when we get all proud about, well, at least they got indicted, that's nothing but charges. Doesn't mean that they've been found guilty at all. So we're still waiting on that. However, the family were awarded a settlement. The amount of the settlement has not yet been released to the media, but the family has been awarded a settlement. Now, you already know how I feel about settlements. Nothing but victims paying victims, because it doesn't come from the place where it should come. Because even the Aurora Police Department stands by the officers' actions wholeheartedly. So that's why I think the money should be coming from their budget. I think the money should be coming from the city's budget. I think the money should be coming from a lot of different places other than the victims and people who wind up being victims themselves. But here we are yet again with another case of this. So, I just always think that paying the families, to me, when they quick to do that, it's like, let's shut them up. Let's shut this up. Let's keep this quiet. And my hope and my prayer is that we don't, that the family does not, that even with the money that they may receive, that they continue to fight for justice for not only their child, but others, to prevent this ever happening to another Black person, period, whether it be a son, a daughter, an aunt, uncle, or whomever.
Or even use some of the money to, just keep things going. Nobody says you have to stop complaining.
Right.
Right. But now you have enough money that you can
set up shop somewhere. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that is true. So yeah, that's just my prayer on that. Other updates. Bill Clinton was in the hospital.
Did you say Bill Cosby? Bill at it again.
No, but I was gonna say is Bill Clinton was in the hospital due to a blood infection. We was released on Sunday, but the footage of him was like, God damn, you sick and you still can't stop flirting with people. Like, cut it out.
All I kept seeing was that nose. I was like, God damn, you ever see his nose?
Yeah,
it is. Oh man, that's
It's the older he's gotten, the slimmer he's gotten, the more pronounced
it is. It's like it's like a dick on your face.
Yeah. Let's see. There was something else that I wanted to update on. Yeah, that's what I forgot. I forgot last week that I said I knew I was going to keep this as an update. The Parkland shooting in Florida, was it so many years ago, back in 2018, that massacre. Yeah, of course, he now wants to change his charges. He wanted to change his charges, but they talked him into pleading guilty on all charges. Now he, after being in jail for a bit, I don't know. I really don't. It's so irritating. I can't even bring myself to words. Like they do stuff and then, they spend a little time in jail and now we want to talk about it. It's nothing to talk about. And the fact that their privilege allows them this opportunity when so many of our family members have sat in jail and are still sitting in jail to this day. It's ridiculous. Hey, what's going on? D-Cop for life. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Lynn T. What's going on? Hi, everyone. What's up, Avatar Nation? What's going on? Welcome. Yeah, it's ridiculous to me. It really is ridiculous to me. Like this privilege is beyond even my thought pattern. Like I really just don't. And we go through the motions. We really go through the motions. These people get time in court. They get taxpayer money to have the lawyer come back into court to say what? Yeah, okay. That's exactly. Last update on the update section. Your homegirl, the judge who happened to
that broad.
Yeah, who happened to jail all those 11 children. Some as young
last week, yeah.
Right, the one we were discussing last week, some as young the age of 7. Of course, now the new article says 8 in the update, but what does it matter? It's still a child. The judge has now claimed, not the judge, I'm sorry, the governor has now claimed that they're going to do an investigation into this whole ring, so to speak.
Oh, they knew what was going
I'll
on.
wait for it. Right.
Yeah,
I'll wait for
they
it.
knew what
I'll
was
wait.
going on.
Of course, it's just that it's brought to the attention, worldwide attention right now. So now they have to do something, or they have to look like they're doing something, in order to get the heat off. That's all this is, and I'm over it. I'm over her. I'm over the whole system. Needs to be rooted and gutted. Um, Not an update, but something I did want to touch on. Hopefully, and keep my fingers crossed. Hopefully, we may have an insider in some real Capitol Hill stuff. So keep your fingers crossed on that. Because the word on the curb is, I don't like that guy in West Virginia. I can't stand him. But they know what he's doing, and they're working on kind of hemming him up to where he has to go along to get along, or else it won't look pretty for him. So hopefully everything goes well. But I'm still working on that to kind of get some more, information and get the clearance to where they can share what they know without jeopardizing their their employment and stuff like that, because we're not about that over here. So we definitely want to make sure that is first priority. But yeah, I did. You just missed it a little bit, but I did mention that. Yeah, of course she's concerned. She has every right to be concerned.
Yeah, not only that, it's majority white
yeah
people in that area, and that
right.
that's being I think they're maybe less than 1% black.
Right.
I know it's like very, very low. So, but not only that, just finding someone who isn't aware
of the case,
yeah. Or even knowing the people.
Yeah,
because it's that small of a community, and that's the problem I think they're going to end up having. I don't know why they just didn't try it out somewhere else. Why didn't they try it somewhere else?
And this is just my thoughts, but my thought is, I think they're looking at it as if they try it out somewhere else, they may have more of a mixed, where it may be more blacks or more people of color.
Mm-hmm. I mean, which would be
which would not be in favor,
not in their favor, yeah.
So they're definitely worried about that. So they were definitely on board with keeping it where it was. I think had it not blown to the proportion of public, attention the way it has, they would have kept it right there and wouldn't have had an issue with it at all. But the concern is, and the mother has every right to be concerned, that the attention it has garnered, a lot of the lawyers, especially on the defense, are using that as a dismissal. So the minute you say, yeah, I've seen it, I don't think, black people are treated fairly, dismissed. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's so many people. They didn't pick anyone. Not a soul got picked out of 600 people first day. No one got picked.
Yeah, but then you got to remember too, all of the cover-ups.
Right.
And so it's pretty much, and for us seeing it out here, you would know that, it's a done deal.
Right.
These people shouldn't walk, but they're,
Right. Yeah.
You know how the system doesn't work.
Right. Yeah. Nicole, guys, we did not plan this was not done on purpose.
Right. Yeah. It's cold. It's cold. It's cold. It dropped down in the 50s here.
Yeah,
so.
No, this did not happen on purpose.
No, see, plus I don't have a head wrap, so.
You know what? Don't do it.
Mm.
Let's see. Oh, this other case too that I came across. Virginia. Hold on one second, because I forgot the young man's name. This former NASA executive was found guilty of killing his neighbor. Pretty much, it was caught on his doorbell cam. Shout out to the Ring people, because of course the white man who killed him tried to say, "Oh, I felt threatened. He looked like he had a gun," which the video cam cruelly shown him knocking on the door to speak to his neighbor with no gun, no nothing. And the former cop opened the door and opened fire on him. So much so that when the young man tried to run to get away from him, he continued to open fire, even when the young man's wife, and this young man was only 25 years old, when the young man's wife tried to grab his body to pull him, closest to safety, he then ran up on her and threatened to shoot her as well. And of course, he lied to the officer, saying that they had this ongoing thing.
Were these clear people?
The person who did it was clear.
Okay.
Yeah. The young man who was killed was not. He was of mixed race. They don't really say what full race he is, but I know his mom's black. Jarvis Patner was his name. He was 24 years old, married. I believe they had one child. And the neighbor had accused him of using his hose to wash his car without permission. And I'm just like, so he
shot him.
Yeah. So they got into they had some words back and forth. And I'm not even sure they were that much of words, because you can clearly see the neighbor going to his door to knock on the door, and then maybe to address him or say something or what have you. And the man opened fire on him, just straight open fire on him. Just no warning, no nothing. Now he claims, of course, he told the court that he gave warning. He told the police that he gave warning and all this other mess, but come to find out he did not. He just opened his door and started firing. So the Virginia Fairfax County, I believe it was. Yep, Fairfax County jury found him guilty. His sentencing will be sometime later. And we'll see what happens. This young man he served in the, not the, branch of the military, but they stay here, reserves. He was a reservist, guess really trying to find work and really have a steady job. He was doing odds and ends, but still no way that this man deserved to lose his life. They even had his son, the mayonnaise man's son, testify against him, basically saying that he would always use derogatory racial slurs to call black people and people of color. So, I mean, pretty much. Color me not surprised, but yeah. This is really getting to be out of control.
I call them clear. These are people with no soul.
Yeah. And the fact that we don't have proper criminal justice laws to fight against this, that people can scapegoat around doing hate crimes and then not call it hate crimes or not be charged with hate crimes, it's a criminal in and of itself. But I digress with that. But anyway, so that's that. Yeah, I don't know, man. Whew. All right, so now that I'm trying to get myself back from that, other than that, there were some notes I had somewhere, but once I find them, we can go. Okay, talked about that. Your former president trying to stop the release of the documents, basically saying that he was all for this January 6th insurrection, which I'm like, okay. I don't find the fascination with this and why the media is so kind of like, he's trying to stop it. He was doing it while he was president. What makes you think he wouldn't do it as a regular citizen? So, I mean, I really just don't get it. I just think release it already, let it go. It's funny to me, though, and I will say this. It's funny to me how in the beginning of Joe Biden's administration, he didn't want to bother with anything dealing with Donald Trump and wanted to kind of just let him be. Now, all of a sudden, he's all for the Justice Department moving forward in any criminal activity or anything going on with him that needs to be dealt with. Funny to me. You think it has anything to do with the fact that midterms are coming up soon? And you want to kind of
midterms coming up, and those numbers looking bad,
right?
Because they're not, they're not giving us what they promised.
Right. Well, they're not doing anything. Really, they're not doing anything. Everybody is just walking around talking and shaking hands and talking about, let's do this together. Fuck together.
Good. I'm so glad you cursed first.
I'm just so sick of this together. Like, let's walk and hold hands together. Like, it's so ridiculous to me when you can clearly see that these Republicans, and, granted, I just, for me, I just want you all to vote. I want you to vote before they take it from you.
You're right.
Please do. Because they are going around here just...
You see what they're doing down in Texas?
Chipping away at voting rights. And we may not think nothing of it, or you may not think, that it really matters. But when you have to have a driver's license that you have to pay for to have now, that's not nothing that, you could just go and pick up. Even to have an ID, it costs money. So you're talking about people who may not even have the financial ability to purchase an ID or to get a new driver's license or any of these things that they're trying to make sure that you have to have in order to cast your ballot, and even pushing the voting locations further out to where people have to now find a way to actually go vote from their local schools or going around the corner or down the street. Now they got to go 15 and 20 miles when they already cannot take the day off because, one, it's not a holiday. Two, a lot of employees don't even want you taking off for that day or coming in late, voting or whatever. So it's a lot of stipulation. So my thing is, yes, voting is important. Please don't tell me that your vote doesn't count, because by damn, they're making sure that they do everything, throw everything but the kitchen sink at your ass to make sure that you can't vote.
Especially in those red states.
Yeah, definitely. Steve Bannon. I'm not really, for me, Steve Bannon is like, what's his face? That other one, that other retard. What's his name? The one that's got the Nixon tattoo on his back.
They're real characters. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I can't think of it. But they
got Tricky Dick on his back.
Yeah,
right?
Tricky Dick on his back, and thinking like that's his hero.
You didn't get a dick on your back. You're supposed to laugh, dick on your back.
Right. He's a whole character, and the sad part about it is that his money protects him, so he can do all these things and say all these things and really do these criminal acts, and it kind of be swept under the rug,
get away with it.
Yeah, because like I said, his money, not only his money, but of course his kind of the white side helps them get away with that. So until we change the justice system and really reform it, because all this talk of justice reform is bullshit until we really uphinge the bitch and really do something different, because this ain't working. This ain't working at all. So I don't know. I really don't.
The Pentagon has a chip that is about to come out next year to buy and sell if you're not vaxxed.
I don't know. I mean,
I doubt. What? It's called a phone. They do that shit now.
Yeah, they do that anyway. Right. If you actually chill on your iPhone, if you go look on your if anybody has an iPhone, they ask you if you've been vaccinated, and then you can, if you fill out the information, which I did not, but if you actually fill out the information, it will tell you those people in your contact list or around in your area that have been vaccinated.
Yeah,
So don't worry about a chip. They're doing that already.
Because they're telling you to leave your paper one that you receive, your vaccine card, leave that, put that in a safe place.
Right.
Because they can just pull up the information right on the phone. They can do that.
Yeah.
Now.
Right. I mean, even when I recently went to New York, you had to show your card everywhere, to the point where we were just taking a picture and just showing it, and they were just okay, So I mean, it's not, how can I put this? It's not a thing for me where I feel like, oh, this is like New World Order type of situation. I do feel, though, that had this been handled a different way the first time, we wouldn't be here. I think a lot of this, I think a lot of this is clean up the mess up. I think a lot of this is really forcefully trying to make sure it doesn't get any worse. And I do understand that, it's everybody's right to choose or not to choose what you do with your body or what you inject. That's your business and your right. And I'm not here to tell anybody to do otherwise. Not at all. Not even my thing. But I will say that I don't like the way this is going, where you're basically telling people, hey, you either want your job or get it. I think that's ridiculous. Now, a private company, they have every right to do whatever they do. Right. That's their business. And what we have to understand as sometimes employees, that a private company has every right to do whatever they choose. Yeah. So if they say, hey, if you want to come through these doors, you need to do X, Y, Z, that's their business. But as far as a federal employee, when you're working for the government, if you're not like high up in certain levels where it's like, okay, you may in fact one day be around the leader of the free world or some other diplomat, you definitely want to do that. That I understand.
That's even like when I was telling you about, I always just assumed that hospital, right? If you worked in the hospital, it was just an automatic thing. If you had an outbreak, it doesn't necessarily have to be Miss Rona. Right. It could be something else. Right. Whooping cough.
Right.
Yeah, I would just assume that it would have to, but I didn't know that they had a choice. I just figured. But the way that they've just done everything is just suspect.
Yeah.
It's like you could watch it in real time how they just switched up. Yeah. And it's like the best thing that they could have done was just shut the fuck up. That was it. You say this is what it is. And then they contradict themselves each time, and they do it every day because they're telling you, well, if you have the shot, they're making it sound as though you cannot still pass it.
Yeah, but you know who I blame for that? I blame Fauci.
Oh yeah, because he was done. Him and the woman with the scarf.
Yeah,
whatever.
She was
both of them because
they bogus. Because they should have just said, you know what, fuck this job. I'm gonna say what it is. I'm not worried about what the president's gonna talk about me on Twitter or drag me in Twitter tweets
when he's
or
telling
whatever.
About putting a flashlight up your ass, okay.
Or some kind of raise or some shit or drinking bleach, and all you can sit there and look at him at the podium with these eyes of, oh my God, I can't believe he's saying that.
And not come up right behind him and just say, oh no.
And say, no, please don't drink. Yeah, he's wrong. Don't
That's all
drink
you had to
bleach.
say.
Don't ingest nothing. That's it. But no, you felt the need that I can't talk. I can't say nothing about this man. Even him. So at this point, when Fauci kind of, gets on camera like, I can now say what I want to say. No, people have every right not to believe what you're saying wholeheartedly because you were not upfront and honest when you should have been. That's all I want to say about that.
Yeah, because remember the Surgeon General that they had during his administration, the black guy. But you know what? But he was like an anesthesiologist.
Right.
Okay. And I
Right.
was like, what? I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, come on. You had a neurosurgeon on top of HUD. So please, let's not act like he knows exactly where people should be placed
It's
in
like,
his administration.
all he can do is put you to sleep. How the hell he going, you know, what does he know about viruses?
Right.
But it is, they screwed that up from the beginning.
They did.
I mean, because they were already precursors anyway, because basically, a lot of people don't trust the government
Right.
anyway. But then
With
you had to, like I said, you had to
the
look at
right to
you had the racist in the White House, and of course,
right.
everybody was really
Exactly.
emboldened, and now you have
I mean,
all
they
these
still
other
are.
things coming out. Yeah, they're still in office, and then you have all these doctors and all this information is all these things that Black people have been saying for years.
Mm-hmm.
That just the treatment of people, not basically of color, but
Right.
social status
Right.
also, that they
Mm-hmm.
treat you like shit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yeah.
don't get the best care.
No.
And all
Even
this
I did
stuff
this.
was coming to light. And they
I did
never
this
say,
story
and
on
they
the
can never come out
doctor.
and say that.
Right. Yeah. Sorry
You
about
were
that. I
saying?
did the story. I did the story on the doctor that time. I can't remember the young lady's name who wound up dying in the hospital. But before she died, she
Oh, the actual
exposed.
doctor. The
Yeah,
actual
she
doctor, yes.
exposed the
And
treatment she was
that
receiving
she
and all
was
this other kind of
receiving.
stuff. That was absolutely horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Um, just poking and prodding her for no reason, giving her medication that she, of course, knew
Knew what it was
what it
about.
was,
Mm-hmm.
and knew that it had nothing to do with what she
But I'm
was
glad
dealing
she
with.
documented it. I'm glad she
So
documented
glad
the
she
whole
did.
thing.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Because
And
and
her
you see all
son.
these things, coming, things that you always heard about, all these old wives' tales. Oh, you know how bad people
Mhm.
are. They are, and it's like, no,
Right.
it's for, this stuff is true and it's coming out. That's why nobody wanted to be bothered with it.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. Very true. Very true.
and her video is on YouTube.
Yeah. I'm sure it is.
Hmm.
I just, racism has so many forms.
And it is in
It's so
everything.
many characters, right? And it's so many characters that play a part in this, uh, from medical doctors and other teams and nurses. We've seen countless videos of nurses berating patients. So, it's not, unfortunately, it's not uncommon, but a lot of this is actually being exposed, which is a great thing. Um, we just need to do better and, focus on some real issues and not
No, but I'm hating
not
all
the
these
mess.
non-doctors giving their 2 cents worth, trying to tell people what to do with for themselves.
Yeah, but I mean,
Come,
that's
but
usually the
coming from
nature
people
of
who
the.
that don't even want to wear a piece of cloth on your face. It says a lot. Okay.
I mean, to protect oneself, like, what I'm saying. It's not,
Hmm.
and then we have this thing of rights and freedoms. That's funny. You talk
That's
about
white
rights and
people
freedoms
saying
when
that.
somebody puts a mat. Yeah, but that's what I'm
That's the
saying. You
white.
talk
That's
about
white
rights
people.
and freedom.
That's white. I mean, clear people, because now they're dragging that into the schools.
Yeah, yeah.
You
I
know.
mean, parents have actually gone to the schools and accosted teachers
Hmm.
who are demanding the students in their classroom wear masks because they don't want their children wearing masks.
Then
I'm
homeschool
just,
them.
I,
Homeschool them. If they can't
I'm
wear
not
a mask,
wrong.
and I mean, and you'll send your kid out who could not get back, who right now still can't
That's
get
what I'm saying.
vaccinated.
Right? Still
You're
can't get
you're in a
vaccinated, but
petri
we
in a
don't
petri dish,
know.
and
Right,
kids are dirty anyway. They dirty little
right.
snotty things, okay? And they always want to hug on you and love you and stuff like that, but they still dirty and germy and stuff. But they
but we
cute and
don't
everything.
but we
But
don't necessarily know if they are carriers or anything of
that's
that
right.
nature. So
Hmm.
then you have them in contact with adults, and it's just a recipe for disaster. And as a parent, I can't see any parent, um, as much as you claim to care about your children, not making sure your children are protected. Yes, you may want them to go home and, go to school and get an education because you want them to get the hell out of your house because they've been in your house for a whole goddamn year last year and you're tired. I get that. But at the same time, you should always want to protect your child. And if that means putting a plastic or cloth over your child's mouth while they're in school learning, what's the damn big deal?
That's one
No,
thing I can say around here. They still have their masks.
yeah,
They're still
yeah,
wearing
yeah,
their masks.
yeah.
And which I'm real surprised. Even the
You,
crackheads.
you know what?
That's right. If you can survive crack, you can survive anything.
Crack is like roaches.
Brown suits. But do they speak Spanish?
Brown suits. I'm sure some of them do.
Yeah, now they do.
Right, now they do. Please, I won't even get into that. That's a whole nother thing. Anywhere else you can go in the world, you can't speak their language. They really don't want to help you or can't help you too much. But here it's like, I really don't. I don't get it. I don't get it. And don't be trying either. Be like, yeah. So I just be like, okay. Well, I think that was all I had. There was something else that you sent me.
What? Oh, the Plan C?
Yeah. That's what it was. Plan C. Hold on while I pull that up. I forgot what that was. Because I was like, I know it was something else you sent me. Plan C. Every time I look at that lady, she drives me crazy. So the abortion pill. The safe. Remember, there was an abortion pill called the day after. So now this Plan C is a safe, at-home abortion.
Texas, this is your loophole. Which it is. Because you can ask for this and they can deliver it on the slow-ass mail system. So for right now, this is your loophole. Plan C.
I don't know how I feel about this. It is 5 actual pills taken twice, taken once or twice a day apart. The medication, known as the medication abortion, the abortion pill, is a combination of 2 drugs. The medication stops pregnancy from growing and causes cramps and bleeding to empty the uterus.
Unfortunately, this does not work for 75-year-old clear people.
75-year-old clear people still having babies?
You don't even get it. I'm using it on them.
I know.
No, you don't. No,
well, I mean, but this is the whole point. And the reason why I say that, because the whole point of this abortion fight is to make sure that they are still having babies. Okay, this is not about controlling the population or any of that. All of this Roe versus Wade kind of the white man controlling what women can do with their bodies is to ensure that they, because they know their numbers are slipping. Another 10, 20 years from now, you'd be like the only white person you fully almost.
Yeah, because everybody's coming over to the dark side.
Yeah. Well, they was dark to begin with. Let they not know that, but yeah, they were dark to begin with. They just ran to the mountains. That's all that happened. Because they can't stand the sun, but yet now they always want to get tanned. Please explain that one.
That's right.
Yeah, until it empties the uterus. That's right, Lindsay. Empties it clean on out. But it's called the Plan C. I feel a way about it because we don't know the kind of damage it has on the body. That's, of course, not talked about in this. That's, kind of glossed over. But
push come to shove. And, not everybody can afford to go to a neighboring state.
Right.
To use their services.
Right. But I wonder if in fact, now let's really talk about this before we get into entertainment stuff and more lighter stuff. But if they're in fact going to force people to, or force women to really have these babies, are we then going to be forcing the uncles, daddies, cousins, whomever else may be responsible for these pregnancies in
You
front of
got
the judge.
a lot of times you got to find them.
Yeah, but sometimes they write into people's families, especially dealing with some of these folks. You know, the mayonnaise that's like been in the jar for a while, the stale ones. Are they going to parade the accusers in front of the judge? Will they get jail time just as much as they're trying to not only jail the doctors, but actually anybody involved in helping this person get an abortion, whether that be the driver, whether that be, a parent, whomever. Are we going to do the same for the person causing the injustice? I'm just curious about that. So a lot of people are coming out now. Are they? I don't know. That's just crazy. Um, yeah, so that's all I got about that. Now, in my wellness portion, okay, real quick, it has a little bit to do with some YouTube stuff. So, fellow content creator, otherwise known as Rico, has moved to New York apparently, and everybody's kind of up in their feelings about him and his move, and that New York is expensive and this, that, and the other.
Of all
Now,
places to go.
listen, how can I put this just as clear as day? Certain things in New York are expensive. Yes. Certain things are not. You pay for more certain places. Like here, I definitely pay more for food and things than I would in New York. Far more. I can go to New York and like really find some stuff that here it'd be like, you pay what? How do you pay so much out here? But that's just how it is, and it's that way everywhere. There's certain places where certain things may be more. Now the cost of living, yes, it can be more, but there are programs that help. My thing overall, we should be more supportive than we should be than less judgmental, and especially dealing with mental states, in dealing with mental health. We all at different places in our lives, and it took a journey to get there. Some of us got there and it was smooth sailing. Others got there and it was a little bit of a bumpy road. But the fact that how your journey went for you to be where you are, to see someone else struggle or try to find their way, and the first thing you go to is making fun of or belittle that, is a bit much. And as a people and as a group and as this whole sector and the things that we do, like, yeah, cool, we're going to crack a joke and you're going to da-da-da-da. But at the end of the day, it's like, really? Either you're going to support it and say, wish you all the best, or just not say nothing at all and move on and talk about something else. Because at the end of the day, God's going to see whatever happens. We have no hell or heaven to put anything in. So, the best thing you can do is just wish for the best. Like I said, there are tons of programs out there that will be able to help that young man get to where he needs to get. But he has to be willing to do the work. He's got to be willing to do the work.
He definitely needs to take it more seriously.
Yeah. He does. But that's something that he needs to do. Now, it's not beneficial for us on the other end to immediately run to help, because he's gonna have to figure this out. Mm-hmm. It's just like any other thing. It's just when you're in a program, of that nature. That's why they don't have you have interactions with your family and all that for the first couple of days, because you have to figure this out. You can't be calling home or, hey, this one slide me a couple of dollars. No, you got to do this cold turkey. And if there's ever a place that will get you together and get you together quick, New York is one of them. Born and raised there, it's just a different mentality. It's
fast paced.
Yeah,
he's coming from look. Maryland is country as hell compared to New York. Those people don't have time. That's why people always think when they go up to New York that New Yorkers are rude. But you just don't have time for bullshit.
You don't have time. Yeah,
you ain't got time for bullshit.
You don't.
Don't beat around the bush, and don't speak slow. Don't speak slow.
It took me a while to allow people to wave at me, or just to be looking for me not to look at them. Like, why are you looking at? What's your motive? What you after? But
because the way we feel here is how if you were to go say down to North Carolina or Georgia.
Right.
And they're like real hospitable. Come here, baby. How you doing? And I'm like looking at them like these motherfuckers are trying to kill us. What's going on? So it's that same thing.
Right. Yeah. So I just want us all to, if you don't really care for the young man, that's fine. That's your,
then leave it alone.
Leave it alone. Yeah, mm-hmm. Leave it alone. Don't antagonize it. Don't keep going back and forth. It's pointless. Mm-hmm. But if you do care, instead of always sending a cash app, how about you send some words of encouragement and just pray, or whatever it is you do.
Yeah, because he doesn't need a crutch. He's gonna have to figure it out for himself. And as long as people keep enabling him, just like you would do for your kid, if you want your kid to get the fuck out your goddamn house, you don't want to keep giving them.
Right.
So you don't want. I mean, granted, sometimes you have to fall. And sometimes you have to fall 5 or 6 times.
Yeah, and you
get up 7 times.
You will. I was just, before I came on here, I was just having a thought when I was thinking about this, that a lot of times when we were going through our journeys, we wish we had somebody to say, hey, don't do this, or this is going to turn out like this. Try this. Don't go that route. I went that route. But a lot of us had to figure that out on our own. And the fact that some of us can see someone in a place that some of us may have been and feel the need to then, make fun of or whatever is beyond me. And it's one thing to have concern, because there are concerns, but please miss me with the concern of like, New York is this full of criminality type of place. Shit can happen any and everywhere. I've seen some more shit here in Maryland than I've ever seen growing up in my house, backyard, front yard in New York my whole entire life. Certain things that I've never even was like, what's that? Oh. So, yeah, he'll be all right, but he has to want to change. He has to want to change, and he has to want the help that people do provide for him when he asks for it. Because he has to do that work. Can't run around and just, here's this place, I know of this place. No, let him reach out and start asking for the help if he needs the help. And it's not for us, and yes, you love the person, or you grown in this kind of relationship, so you always want to help, and you don't want to see the person fall, and none of us do. Don't get me wrong,
but
none of us do. That's
the only way you're going to learn.
Right, but you have to grow. You have to grow, and the only way you grow.
That's right. And he's a man. He's a black man of a certain age.
Yeah.
And if he hasn't learned,
period. Yeah.
I mean, no, but he's a certain age. Some things you need to pick up.
The bulb should have been on.
Well, but you
I'm
know
just
what?
saying. But
Depending upon his
everybody, yes.
circumstances, his
But that's what I'm
circumstances.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah, but
But everybody's, that doesn't click for everyone.
mhm.
Sometimes it takes a bit.
Yeah,
So
and if you have people
and I
sheltering
understand
you
that.
all the time, you're a
Yeah.
late bloomer, and you out
Yeah.
here being stupid, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if somebody's always gonna reach in their pockets and give you some change and stuff like that, no, you have to learn how to rely on yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he,
You
like I said,
do.
he's a man of a certain age, and certain things I don't know what he's doing, but I
Yeah.
just wish I just
Yeah.
keep my fingers crossed for him. But the one
Right.
thing I wish a lot of people would stop doing is when he, I guess, lashes out at certain people, they just need to start ignoring him at this time because they're
Yeah.
commenting and
Well, no, but then the people keep going, and they think it's funny, and it's like it's
yeah.
not funny. And
I
then
heard,
you
I
ask,
heard
and
some
then they
stuff over
ask,
the weekend. It
yeah,
was
and
it
then
was
they ask the person, hey, how do you feel about that? And look, I don't care.
mhm.
And it's like, yo, you're too old.
No, but a lot of that shit was horrible. It was
But these people are
horrible.
too
Oh,
old.
yes, because both of them were too old.
That's what I'm saying. Like they're old as shit to
Mhm.
really be like. And granted, I'm not saying because he's a kid, because he's not. You know what I'm saying? And I
Yeah.
think where
Mhm.
the breakdown for a lot of people is like, oh, well, he's a
No,
kid.
but about his
No,
circumstances,
he's
that's the whole thing. It's about his circumstances, and the things that were said were horrible.
yeah,
They really
yeah.
were.
But I mean, but that's the whole nother thing about this YouTube. Like, yeah, people can talk about people's situations, but clearly they're in situations themselves. So it's like, people in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Just because you think that nobody don't know your situation doesn't mean anything. People just choose not to talk about it, or just choose to take a different route and not indulge in that. But we all come from different situations or environments at some point in time that didn't have the best of, you wouldn't go home, you wouldn't be bragging about it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I really don't know. And I had to discover that living on my own. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was like, whoa, wait, and my mom would always say, oh, you can always come back home. And I was like, no, I just set it in my mind. Like, you didn't exist. I could not call you and say, hey, mom. I couldn't call you and say, I'm coming back home. I just set that for myself. And, it was tough, but it worked out. And, eventually I figured it out. I mean, she was mad a lot of times. I get an email or a text message. Why didn't you tell me this? Why didn't you tell me that? Because I didn't want to. So, but, he'll figure it out.
I just wish him. I wish him the best. I wish him the
Yeah,
best.
he'll figure it out. And if he needs a person to talk to that is in charge of that kind of stuff, he'll find it. He'll find it, or they'll find him, and that's all it'll be. But I just, come on, y'all. Like, there's so many other things you could be talking about if you want to roast or go at people. It's just like, come on, doing too much. What'd you say?
Your email is in your
Okay, yeah,
description
my
down the
email is
bottom.
in the description down at the bottom. That's the email address.
Yeah, everyone needs a little help, but sometimes you can help them by not helping them.
Yeah. You can, or just keeping your help minimum. Like, you may want to do more, and it's like, no, I stopped myself because I was thinking, oh, I could call this person, and link him up with this person instantly.
If you really
And I
want to
said,
help,
nope.
just keep your eye on them.
Yeah.
That's it. You can watch, you can see what's going on, but just don't be available all the time,
Right.
because you're not really helping.
Yeah, you're not helping the situation or what he's trying to do.
What he's
Again,
trying to do.
he has to do it for
So
himself.
sometimes you gotta scrape the bottom. Sometimes you have, some people have to scrape the bottom for they, because if you want a person to stop all the foolishness that they're doing, they have to want to do it. But if you're constantly giving them help,
they'll never learn.
And they'll always be looking
Trust
for
me,
you.
we all have an uncle, cousin, or somebody that the mama, the parents did not want to feel the need to be like, well, and they in and out of trouble or in and out doing this, and still at this age, ripe old, when you think, okay, they should have calmed down by now, they still doing the same
55-year-old that's walking down the street trying to be a rapper, okay?
Or hollering at young girls, talking about, hey girl, come here, get the hell out of here. So yeah, that's my wellness for the day. That's all I had to say about that. Yeah.
And this is Cancer Awareness Month. We forgot that last week.
It's been Cancer Awareness Month all month.
I know, but we forgot to say it last week.
Oh yeah,
we were too busy acting stupid last week. That's what it was.
Whatever. Speak for yourself. So this is Cancer Awareness Month.
Do you actually remember last week?
Yes, of course I do. Thank you.
I'm sure it was just a blur.
No, it wasn't. I remember everything all the time.
Okay.
Sometimes that's not a good thing, but
not a good thing.
Yeah, sometimes I wish I didn't. But yeah, Cancer Awareness Month is this month. So not just for breast cancer, but all forms of cancer. Women, please make sure that you're getting your mammograms and checking other spots and things and situations. Get to know your body, and not in a, not even, no pun intended, anything sexual, but a lot of times we, even as men, we don't take health seriously. And it is definitely important for us to invest in our physical health as much as we invest in other things. We invest a lot more in material things. We are one of the largest growth. We are one of the largest communities that actually contribute to this economy with our buying power. So as much as we buy, why don't we invest and buy in our own health, and to ensure that we have some longevity in this place we call Earth, and in this thing we call the United States, or the divided states, or whatever you want to call it.
What are we going to call this?
I don't know.
Hot ass mess.
I have no idea, but I just think that we need to definitely start investing more in our health, and do even if it's self-examinations. If you see a spot and you're just like, hey, where'd that come from? Call that doctor up real quick, even if it's the dermatologist, to say, hey, I need to come in. There's something I saw, or video. Now that they do video conferences and things of that nature, do those things. Please invest in that.
Or see what services are available for you. If it's out of your range.
Right. If it is out of your range or out of your price range, we definitely need to, there's services out there. Please don't be afraid to use them. I know a lot of times there's this clowning thing about using the services. Well, hell, if you pay into it, bitch, you better use it. Because I don't pay for nothing that I don't use. That's just stupid. Will you be my gym buddy? I could. But yeah, I mean, it's just something we definitely need to do. And even if just being at home for whatever reason, if you can't really get to the gym or even want to get to the gym, there are home exercises you can do to kind of get the ball rolling. At least that way, by the time you are able to get to the gym, or you feel like taking that step to actually go to a gym, you're not sitting up there wasting your time or your money playing around on the machine.
Because then you may find out also that the gym's not for you. The gym's not for me. I'm not it's too closed in, and I don't.
Yeah, when people get up and in their sweat spots be on stuff, I'll be like, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Then you always get those ones that they just hang out there and they want to talk you to death. No,
that's a different type of gym.
Hey Tanari, how you doing, baby?
Hey, what's up, Tanari? How are you? That's a different type of gym. All right, so now let's real quick to some lighter stuff. Uh, this movie you sent me. Okay,
Which one?
first one, Bones. Was it Bones or Age or whatever it
Old.
was?
Old.
Old. Okay.
I was like, what are you talking about?
Because it's the bones in the picture.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's the
So
only reason why I knew what you're.
yeah. So Old. First of all, I did not know it was a Michael M. Shyamalan
Yep, Imlan
movie.
Shyamalan.
Right, him. I had it right the first time. I love his movies. They always have that factor, like, oh, okay, that was crazy. And this one had it. He brought it back because I haven't felt that way since Broken,
That's the swing
Unbreakable,
gym.
Unbreakable. Yeah, that's the swing gym. Yeah, right. Definitely the swing gym. Hey, hey, Miss Tita, how are you? Yeah, I don't do the swing gym. See, that's because you be hanging around that Pornhub gym. That's what it is. It's the Pornhub gym.
But like I
You
told you, we don't
telling
have
on yourself.
all that foolishness like we have over here.
Telling on yourself. So anyway, that movie was good. Check it out if you can. The movie's called Old. It is definitely got a little bit of a twister to it. Now, I was a bit confused about some of the scenes, especially when the young people was humping and bumping, but I was like, okay, whatever.
I had to figure out whose
Who
kid
was
belonged
who?
to hit.
Yeah, I was about to, because at first I was like, their brother and sister, dude, like
That's what I thought at first, but there was
so then when I saw
there
it
were
again,
three.
there were other families there. Because then I was very confused. I was a bit like, what the hell? But yeah, otherwise good movie. The movie's old. Check it out if you can. This other movie, Dunes, I think it was.
Dune. Yeah, it just came out in theaters. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Now,
and it should be showing up by the end of
now
the week on HBO Max.
Now wait a minute. Two popped up. So and I watched both of them. So I don't know which one was which because I watched the one that you sent. The two movies called the same name. So there was one like a super sci-fi kind of thingy going on
in the desert.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was Dune.
Okay. So then, but one link I hit had this other one. It was like this. It was like a domestic violence type thing. It was good.
Domestic violence.
Yeah, it was like this husband and wife. They were getting a divorce, and it was really good though. So real quick, I don't want to tell it all, but it's so good you kind of gotta tell it. So husband and wife, they were getting a divorce. She just wanted to leave and go about her business. Mm-hmm. And the husband was kind of like, oh, I thought we were going to work this out. They had went to the priest to mediate, and he's thinking that they're going to, work it out. And she's like, no, I want a divorce. And she had the stuttering lawyer, and it was a hoot trying to hear him.
Oh, that wasn't me. I don't even know what that is.
And no, it's called Dunes. It's called Dunes. Same thing, but with an S, I think. So,
Dune.
Long story short, he winds up meeting this the ex-husband winds up meeting this woman who was dating this doctor. The doctor winds up dating her the ex-wife, right? The doctor winds up beating on the ex-wife. The girlfriend who was dating the doctor winds up being cuckoo as hell. Like, you can't leave me. Everybody leaves me. Winds up drugging the son with sleeping pills.
Oh no, I wouldn't say nothing like that. That sounds like real life. No,
trying to kill him so the father could just be with her. Mm-hmm. Kills the priest. It was a whole mess. The husband and wife, they fighting, trying to get away from the other. When she finally gets away from him, she stabs him, and instead of her getting up and like running away, she's crawling on the beach. He catches her and slices her throat, but he was already stabbed, and it was just a whole mess. I was
I don't know what bootlegger you got that one from. That wasn't me.
That was me just typing it in, like, what was this? But I did see the other one. It was pretty cool. It was pretty cool. Actually, I got to watch it again because there's stuff in the middle that I did not
Mhm.
catch, and I think it comes from an older. Was there an older film that they remade?
What, Dune?
Yeah,
Yeah, Dune. Yeah, Dune is
yeah, okay,
yeah.
yeah,
This is the new one
the
with
new version.
Denzea or whatever, and there's supposed to be
Yeah.
two other installments.
Hmm.
One next year and one in 23.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it looks like they're gonna have another
Hmm.
like a part
Yeah, because it's actually
two.
already done. The whole thing, all
Oh,
three are
okay.
done,
Oh,
and
wow.
that's why when it ended, it ended the way it
The
did.
way it did. Okay.
Yeah, they're doing it like was it Lord of the Rings
Right.
type
Okay.
thing.
I get that. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hello, 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 everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Um, yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Hmm.
I
Did you watch
thought that
Halloween? I know I couldn't get into it either.
I was saving that one for last because that was so like what?
No, you know what it is? I think that they were they were shooting at doing the beginning of the outbreak.
It
And
was so disjointed.
jointed,
Like
yeah. But not only that,
none of it,
she must have directed that.
none of it
Jamie
kind of
Lee,
none of it
nothing
kind of
tied
made
in
sense. Yeah,
anything.
nothing
Yeah,
tied into anything.
that's
The
why
only
I
thing
was
I
saying.
can surmise from watching it is that her and was it Michael Myers or something? What's his
Mhm,
name? Yeah, that they're conjoined in some way where she has to die for him to actually be
he just
dead.
dead. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Because it was just like, the
It
hell?
was just a filler. They were just trying to get it out.
Yeah, but I
Uh,
mean, she spent the
well,
whole goddamn movie practically in the
in the
hospital.
hospital.
And that whole thing of, oh, we gotta kill him. And
Hmm.
people, it was just like, okay, is this the
No, but
reaction
when you
of
see some
the,
of those actors that you haven't seen in the past 20 or 30 years when they were kids, this D-list
yeah.
kids, I was like, oh, wow, this is terrible. All right.
Well,
After
see,
the first two Halloweens, I was done with that whole franchise because it was just trash after that.
really.
Hmm. Yeah,
Mm.
the very two very first ones, they were
Mm-hmm.
great. That's even like what's the one? Freddy Krueger.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
first one
it became
scared
more
the fuck.
comical.
The first one scared the fuck out of me when his arms reached across, and and Johnny Depp got yoked up in that
Yucked up.
bed. I was
Yeah.
done.
Yeah, those first ones were something, but then the later ones, they became
Oh yeah,
more
they were trash.
comical.
They were
Yeah,
trash.
they became more comical, and
I
that was
you
the thing.
know, I want my horror films to be horror films. I don't want to have to laugh through them.
Yeah. Yeah, I just didn't understand. And then the one scene with uh the black couple where the one guy got stabbed up in the eye and all that, I was just
Yeah,
like, what were you doing?
yeah, they weren't normal black
Yeah,
people.
it was
Because
just
even when
like,
the mixed couple and the husband or whatever got yoked up in the house, he thought somebody was
mhm,
in the house, and then
right,
remember she was running, she just stood there with the knife. I was like, are
right,
you kidding? I said, first of all, she'd have left his ass.
right,
she'd she'd have
right,
left his ass there. The
right.
husband,
Even
that is.
the right, even the same sex couple that wind up buying the house,
House.
it was
Hmm.
like, okay, if you hear he's on the loose, or why would you stay in the house? And then when
I
you
know
hear the noise,
I'd be
you gonna
gone.
go
I'd be
run
at
it.
a hotel somewhere.
You gonna go run upstairs like, huh? What's going on? Oh, you've come
It was
home.
horrible.
It
It was
was
horrible.
the worst. I was like, what is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with y'all? But yeah, that's really all I have for the movie picks for today. Anybody have any suggestions of any other movies to check out? Um, let me know. Leave the comments in the comment section below. Um, See if anything I'm
Yes, Tanari. It
missing.
was awful.
It was, it
It was
was
beyond
really, it was
awful.
beyond awful. It really was because I was really expecting like something, and I was just like,
Yeah, I didn't expect it to be great. I didn't expect it to be like a total D list.
I didn't expect it to be that bad because the last one, when it ended with them kind of finally trapping him again, I was like, all right, we're going somewhere. We are getting somewhere. And then I was like, the hell they do with this? I'll answer this one first. Favorite TV shows? I don't really have a favorite. I just have a few that I watch. Like Queen Sugar is one of them. David Makes Man is one of them, but they're not on right now. So just a few,
Yeah,
and some others that I watch.
that was weird. Game of Thrones. Game of
Yeah,
Thrones. I
Game
love
of
Game of
Thrones.
Thrones.
Yeah, Game of
And I'm
Thrones is always
rewatching The
one.
Wire.
I can't do it.
I
I can't
can't.
do it.
I couldn't do it before. Like I said, it was too close. It was literally too close to home. They were right around the corner filming.
Yeah, I
But
can imagine. Yeah. So did you see the pictures? I mean, I saw the pictures. I didn't think nothing of it. Um, Jackie Blue, could you please stop? We already know. We spoke about it. If you was here, you're late. Then that means you just got to watch the replay or just rewind it back to catch it. Okay. Of course, we know that. Anyway, yeah, I saw this. Sydney Starr and Eddie Winslow. I forgot his real name.
Eddie Winslow. That's all I
yes.
know.
They took a picture together. I'm not sure if they're dating. They just both said that they were just good friends and he was just doing it to support. But if they were, so what? I mean, I just don't. At this point, I think we need to really stop. We get so concerned with what other people are doing who really don't. Yeah, Darius McCray. Thank you, Tenare. I know you probably had a crush on Eddie Winslow.
Somebody could be hanging out at the club and just happen to be at the club.
Yeah.
Even though Sydney Starr is kind of problematic, so
yeah, but that's what I and it's all about kind of clickbait at this moment. What's the last movie that I've seen Darius McCray in was Next Day Air, I think, and it may have been one after that, but that's the only one I can remember. So I don't know what touched my nerve. You asking about? Oh, him asking about.
Actually, they should have caught you last week. You were more mellow.
No. Whatever.
Okay.
I'm not doing this with you. No, I mean, it's just like, stop at you asked that question twice already. I've seen it. Cut it out. Obviously. Of course I have. That's all I talk is politics, mainly. So, of course, I've spoken about it. Look at my community wall. It's there.
Yeah, and even Donald Trump spoke about it.
Right. Jackass. He can't help himself. He has to be talked about. And it doesn't matter. And it's like there's no respect. None whatsoever. And it's just like, when will it stop? When we stop, and again, it's the same deal. If you stop paying attention to it and stop feeding it, it will go away. But you keep feeding it. They keep feeding it. They want to feed it because they know it brings in numbers. As much as they hate his guts or talk about how horrible of a politician he is, people tune in to watch just to see what he's going to say or do or whatever. And they run with it. So I'm over them talking about some, they no longer, support or do anything or listen to the things that the president says. I'm over it because or the former president, because they're full of shit.
The only thing I want to hear about Donald Trump is all this other stuff that's coming out, how he done bilked the government out of all this money.
I've been talking about that. I've been talking about that since he was doing it, charging the Secret Service thousands upon thousands of dollars to stay in his hotels.
Well, the food boxes and things that they were giving out.
That they were giving out, they weren't. They were
all in that. Just read that. They were pocketing that money too.
Pocketing all that money, and then they were using, which this makes perfect sense. Victims like when Puerto Rico and all that kind of stuff, they were utilizing all of the medical bundles and things that they were sending as leverage, as political leverage, like vote for this one or do this or do that, or we won't send aid. Which again, I'm not surprised. We're talking about the type of person you're dealing with. Thank you, Pink, for catching the nightcap. Thank you so much. I'm working on having a particular guest at the nightcap to ask some questions. Someone who does a lot of voyeurism, and I just want to ask some questions like, what made you get into it? What made you do it? And why do you do it? And are you scared?
And you just sit there and watch?
Do I just sit there and watch?
No,
to me, it's funny. No, I do, because to
Oh
me it's
no.
funny. I'll be trying to figure out why do you, because he has little stories at the end of like the situation and how the person was reacting. But I just be like, how do you? That's bold. That's
Mm.
bold. So yeah, and I'm
You
looking
get
for.
sight, sounds, and smells.
No, you don't get no smells.
Oh, if you sit there watching
No, I mean
in the
watching
same
from
room.
watching from the phone. Watching.
Oh,
Yeah, no, we're not
Pornhub,
talking about
whatever.
no.
Okay. Oh, I thought it was
Yeah,
like in
like
the same. I thought it was like in the same room.
no, no, no,
Uh,
no, 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 no.
oh,
Come
okay.
on, we're not doing all that. That's way too much. I just want to ask the questions like, what made you get started? What that kind of thing. Like, I'm just curious in that regard. And two, I'm looking for a female too that likes to do that sort of stuff, or and ask them questions as well. So we're just getting our feet wet and different type of things. No pun intended.
Oh.
Um,
Not just feet.
yeah. Yeah, exactly. Me too. That's what I said. I have a lot of questions, so I know I really do have a lot of questions, and I ask all
Make
the
sure you
time, but you never.
write them down. Write them down.
Yes, please, please, please. I've already written mine down, and every time I think of one, I will. But if you do have questions that you would like to be asked and answered either on the nightcap, you can always email me or email the nightcap email if I can find it. I don't think it's in here unless I go here and change it up. Let's see. Where is it? And of course, it wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
When I'm looking for it, of course not. No. All right, but I will place it in the thing after this is over. Yeah, I thought it was in, but it's not. I'll place it in the thing when this is over, so you can actually send it to the nightcap email, so it doesn't interfere. But if not, you can always just send it to the email box, and I will transfer it over. Yeah, no, I was talking about the other email, the nightcap one. I was trying to find that one.
Oh, I have it.
Because that way Edith can answer it to aka Antonio if I don't get a chance to get to it. All right, but I think that's all I got for today. I think that's good. I think we're good. See, I'm at my hour and a half. Great. All right, good. Everybody's happy? Great.
You happy?
I'm starting to like it. Like, okay. My inner wrap it up box is going off. Not Patty Dewey. Voyeurism as voyeurism, like just out in the open, just willy nilly. I'm just like, I'd be amazed. Just like, that's a lot of courage. You don't be scared. Nope. I'd be scared on my mind. I'd be scared. Me too. Me too. I'd be scared because you don't. You never know with people, man. And I.
Don't want to find out.
Right. Ain't even trying to find out. Ain't looking for it. Yeah. So definitely. You wouldn't be scared at all. Okay, tonight I hear that.
Go ahead, girl.
You must have some courage juice in you.
Yeah.
You say that now. Right.
What you drinking, girl?
Now while you're sipping.
I ain't gonna lie. I'd be scared. Skirt.
I'm
like that.
Scared. It don't even. We both be scared. Okay. We both be scared. He be looking. I be looking at him. Like, what are you doing? What are we doing?
It's like, wait a minute. I did not get the memo.
Right. I did not get the email. Red alert.
Yeah, I put the email address in there.
All right, thank you.
You say not a look sober. So What's in that water?
Right. It better be some Crystal Light.
Mm, mm,
Mm-mm. Yeah, okay.
that is
But
crazy.
anyway, that's all I got. If anybody got anything before we go, oh, let's see. This just popped up. So cool. I guess it was like, here you go. The U.S. Supreme Court has just rejected the challenge to what? To mandate COVID vaccine. I hate when they give me the little bit and not the whole story because they don't really say what it is. The Supreme Court rejected the challenge to Maine for the big C vaccine mandate. Interesting. Interesting. I wonder what the numbers were. I'll be curious to see that.
See that? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What justices voted, if they voted on party lines or if they actually split. Because if they voted on party lines, that would be typical because they have the majority. So,
yeah.
Well,
I'm starting to wonder whether or not they're going to add to the courts.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was thinking that was going to happen soon, but apparently we are dragging our feet with a lot of stuff. I mean,
with everything, and I think, and his numbers are showing.
Yeah,
we some things we expected because they could just go ahead and do it.
Right, but that's my thing. Even the things that they could just go ahead and do, regardless of what the Republicans may, kick their feet about, they aren't doing. They aren't doing. Like even voting rights. Like right now, voting rights.
Yes.
You still want to do what? Negotiate what?
Mm-hmm.
When these states are actually ripping apart piece by piece legislation. You got Governor Hot Wheels doing away with the whole goddamn thing. So then what are we doing? If you don't make a mandate soon and make it federal law to where these states can't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, what is the holdup here? Granted, nobody's sitting up here shouting no hoorah, Joe Biden. I just didn't really want Donald Trump because hell, if you think this is some shit just by Republicans doing this, imagine if they had full control be able to wipe away voting rights and everything else by having a president like Donald Trump at the helm again. You're right.
And there would be more violence.
Whatever. Real quick, Andrew McCabe, the FBI agent that was he the leader, the director of the FBI at one point?
Yeah, that was supposed to retire.
Right.
That didn't.
And they took his pension.
They
took his pension and stuff because he testified against Donald Trump. They actually reinstated his pension. So he's able to retire with his benefits. So that was cool. That was an update too that I forgot. But other than that, I think I'm done. I think I'm good. Think I'm good. Yep, I'm good. Yeah, I think so. If anybody cares, Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz are running out of money. Nobody cares.
Who cares? They haven't arrested him yet.
No, they have not arrested that pedophile yet either. And he can walk around like everything's hunky-dory, like it's an alleged story when they have evidence and testimony from his partner in crime that he was actually in the rooms and in these engagements with underage girls. So, yeah, we'll see.
Not only that, transporting.
Right. Transporting, supporting, and everything else. So we'll see how long this goes because it's all funny when it's one of us and it's a black and brown person, especially somebody of celebrity, how they get dragged in the ground and looked at like such a criminal, but yet when it's one of them, it's they still get to parade around and do all this.
Yeah, and don't forget Bill Cosby got another
He
court.
back in it, right?
He's back in it again.
That's what I was saying. They made sure, like, if he gets out, we're gonna have somebody waiting in the wings. So as soon as he gets out, we're gonna swing another.
And he was worried about R. Kelly being railroaded.
Sheesh. Yeah, they talking about that now that R. Kelly was railroaded. But I mean, come on, we need to stop lying to ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't that fully railroaded. He did a lot of that shit to himself.
No, he did it to himself.
He did it to himself.
And his people did it because they should have told him. They should have told him no.
And they enabled him.
Mm-hmm.
Right. They enabled him. So everybody has to kind of pay the piper with that. Let's see.
He gonna be paying.
Interest.
He might be blowing some pipes.
Oh, he'll be doing a little bit of both. He'll be doing a little bit of both.
He'll be able to get all he wants.
Well, I mean,
Can I get a mic check? Can I get a mic check?
They can make songs together in jail.
Beats.
Beats.
He's gonna be a beatbox. He's gonna be a beatbox. All right. He's definitely gonna be a beatbox.
But I don't know. They might find some use to him. Oh, tragic news this week, late part of last week into this week. A young producer who worked with what's his name? The dude with the dreads that was dating Sierra at one point. What's his name? Can't think of his name. But anyway, it'll come to me. Well, the producer's name is D. Hill. He died sometime this week. He was only 25 years old. They haven't determined what he died from. He was a well-known producer. I'm trying to find an artist he worked with. It'll come to me, but I don't know why. Why won't it come? Lil Wayne. There you go. He did a collaboration with Lil Wayne, Lil Uzi, and Future and Drake with their "Life Is Good" song. So yeah, Future. Thank you, Linty. Yeah, he died this week too. Only 25 years old. So please, and this is why I say, we get into this with younger people are always kind of judging, and we need to start just kind of paying more attention to what's going on with our younger people and not just quickly dismissing the things that they're going through as just, whatever. Because, we're going out of here real quick. So, but really, and with that said, that is really all I have. We'll have it.
Did you read about the Netflix firing that
you know what?
the organizer,
you always try to get me to come back here.
No, I didn't.
That was you. You always trying to come
back. You started talking about voyeurism and all the rest of that. You ran down the clock.
That has nothing to do. This is my issue with that Netflix special. And it's not even an issue. At the end of the day, Dave Chappelle is a comedian. There's a lot of things that people have said, that comedians have said, that have crossed the boundaries or been somewhat off-putting. Right. And with that said, you've watched this show, you kind of know where he goes with his comedy. He can go there. He can, touch it a little bit. However, if you really listen to what he was talking about and whom he was talking about, now maybe I could be wrong, but my interpretation was he really wasn't talking about he really wasn't talking about us per se. He was mainly talking about white folks and the white gay community and the how white gay people are just as racist, and they shouldn't be. And it behooves him on how they can get so much and be so hateful. That is really the gist of what he was saying. And a lot of people have missed that. Uh, and everybody has every right to be angry because I'm not, I'm not a trans man or a trans woman, so I don't know what that journey is like. But all I can ask is that people respect me. I cannot demand that people uh, want me around them, want to hang out with me, break bread with me, and all that kind of stuff. All I can demand is that if I come into a space, you respect me, I respect you, we go about our business. We ain't got to kumbaya, hold hands, jump rope, talk about anything, that we just respect one another. And I think we get so caught up in this thing of accepting. You gotta accept me, or you gotta accept me. People don't have to do shit, but stay wherever they are and die. But be respectful. That's all you have to do is be respectful. Other than that, you're asking for a lot for people that don't know you. And I think people missed it just because it felt like it was making fun of or poking at.
Well, some people, when they watched it, they were looking for certain things.
Yeah,
Right
as
from the
always,
beginning,
because
and that's what I
because
felt like a lot of them did because of the previous
the previous
previous
ones where he
shows.
talked about it, but even in that it was funny because it was true. It was true even when he did the LGBT people in the car.
Yeah.
How this one's that one and that one is that one, and this one gets treated like it's unfortunate, but it is what it is, because that's
a
how.
fact.
Yeah, that's how it is. Nobody's saying it should be that way, but it is that way. So for us not to know this is exactly what it is, and find a way to fix it amongst ourselves, I'm not even talking about them, this amongst ourselves, it's a start. And I'm glad that he is at least saying it, even saying sometimes his his level of comfort or uncomfortable, being uncomfortable with it, and kind of growing into a spot where, okay, he even trusted someone to open up for him that happened to be a transgender woman, and didn't think nothing of it. And she bombed, and she was horrible. But the hate that she received for doing that for him was enough for him to say, you know what the hell is this? And him being in the industry and knowing a lot of these people, I'm sure he sees a lot of this kind of, damn, y'all so hateful. Y'all getting all this stuff and y'all so hateful, but yet y'all still want to jump on my back and crush me and get all and stay on my neck. How? And the minute somebody says something to you, it's, oh, you're oppressing me. How? It's just, I just think, people, you gotta kind of sometimes really sit and analyze some things. Yeah, sometimes you get filled with emotion and instantly you think, oh, they're talking about me. Sometimes you gotta suppress that and listen. Because if you listen, you'll hear. And what you'll hear will be something that you necessarily, oh, okay, I got it. Because I know him and I watch
something else.
Right.
So busy.
Because I watched him and I know where his comedy goes. I knew this exactly. Yeah, I knew that's exactly I knew exactly what he meant when he said it. I knew exactly what he meant when he said it.
Because like I said, when I watched it the first time, I mean, when I watched the one and only time, because I was going to go back and watch it again, because I was like, well, shit, I must have missed something. I was like, I didn't get that. But like I said, I'm also not a trans person, so maybe these things I wasn't looking for. But in just remembering that, I was like, no, I don't. Nothing was relatively rough,
Yeah, no, nothing was relatively rough that would make me go, oh, like, oh, whoa, that was low. It was quite like, okay, he does see it. He does see that part of them, that they are allowed to put on two coats. They're allowed to put on this LGBT jacket when they want to, and then when they feel some type of way, even about you, they are allowed to take that off, put on their white coat, and be like, and still freely walk through and be just as free as they want to be. So I don't know. And like I said, it could just be, hey, this beach, what's going on, love? Nice to see you. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, they say the truth hurts, but my goodness.
Yeah. Well, Netflix fired, I guess, the head of the whole thing.
They fired the.
But they were also leaking out information.
They fired the head of the walkout because they were going to do a walkout.
Yeah, they're going to do a walkout, but evidently that person was leaking out some analytics and things like that.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Just do the walk. You don't have to try to take down the company. You just
do the walkout.
You just defeated the whole purpose.
And then you lose
male privileges.
The aspect of, right. You lose the aspect of what you were saying. That's where Miracle Whip comes in, honey. That's where Miracle Whip comes in. But you lose everything. And no, we did not have
Patty
coordinating outfits. It just happened that way. Really, it did. Yeah.
No, it's because it's becoming winter, Patty. Right. Like, keep telling all you people down in Texas, you better get your shit.
You better get your shit. Get the generators going, because Hot Wheels about to cut your shit off.
Winter's coming.
Yeah, but no, I just, I really think for those people who have felt some type of way, that they really, if you can, watch it again and just try to, with an open mind,
go looking for it.
Right. Don't go looking for it, but just listen. And some of the stuff, because I mean, every comedian I listen to, I don't think they're funny all the time. It's like they may say certain stuff like, oh, okay, that was funny. But like, it was just like, okay, wow, like that whole thing turned into turning the mirror on themselves.
Yeah.
And noticing the hypocrisy in how they act and want to cancel and, kind of go after people. But it's only certain things that they want to go after. It's only certain things that they want to attack. Even in mentioning, the baby situation. Clearly, he killed someone and y'all didn't care nothing about it. Now, all of a sudden, y'all care because he said this. But the only people who are able to stop him because he said this are who? White gay folks. So, I mean, I just didn't understand it. But I got it. Not get your bone.
That's right.
Oh, God.
You are so right. Yep. Get your baloney. And get her.
I can't. I'm not
down there. Get yourself a real coat.
Just keep it on standby.
Tell your folks from up north, they should be putting them out on the racks by now. Send you one down there.
Right. Send you down a good one.
Because you won't find one down there.
Nah. Nope. All right. See, you keep pushing it. I'm 10 minutes away. Nope. Nope.
That's you.
Okay. On that note,
we'll blame that on me. You can't blame that on me.
I didn't blame. First of all, I didn't blame it on you. I just said, see, I'm 10 minutes away. I'm good. That's it. All right. Thanks.
All right.
So on that note, you guys
have what I get paid for. I keep telling you, that's what I get paid for.
You guys have a great night. It's been a pleasure. Thank you all for hanging out. If you came in late, sorry, but you can catch the replay. Please leave a comment. Please like this video if you haven't done so. Please subscribe as well. I don't be talking much shit about people on here as others do, but occasionally, if you come knocking on this Capitol door, the Speaker of the House may answer.
Hey, crackhead Willie. Haven't seen you in a while.
Willie. Jeez Louise. Where you been?
Hiding
Seems
out,
like a little minute,
lurking up in them
lurking in the
clouds.
bushes.
Uh-huh.
But like, thank you all for coming. Of course, if you're a little late, you're gonna have to catch it on the replay. And by all means, leave a comment. I do read all the comments. I may not respond to you all because sometimes it'd be troll comments and stuff like that. But of course, I always respond. And with that, what you say? If you knock hard enough. But that all depends. Yeah. But yeah, I think that's okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate. Well, first of all, we don't call it bushes here. That's the balcony. The bushes are for the low folks. We don't do bushes here.
Oh Lord.
We don't do bushes. We do balcony. So you can stay up in the balcony. It's a great little spot. It's the view. You can see everything. And we appreciate you being there. But like I said, please make sure if you haven't liked the video on your way in, that you like it on your way out, that you also subscribe if you aren't subscribed, and keep this train rolling, because we got to keep each other informed, because that's what we do here. The shits and the giggles are fun, but at the end of the day, if we're not keeping each other informed and empowered and uplifted in some way, then what the hell are we doing? Because at the end of the day, we're doing ourselves a disservice. So
true. Very true.
We can have fun and crack jokes and do all that, but we can always still encourage and uplift one another, because that's all we got, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Right.
And we thought that stuff was over.
Right.
And it's not. It's rearing its head. It is transforming. It is changing form. Now you actually
they're adapting.
Mm-hmm.
They're adapting to all that is going on. So at the same time, while we're still playing catch up that we haven't even caught up to, So and they're still moving forward with this steam engine of stay on top, and yet we're sitting here fighting with each other amongst everything with colorism and sexual orientation and all these other things that we as a people fight amongst each other about. And it's like, God damn. And they just sit back. They throw it out there, and then they sit back and let us
watch,
just go.
And watch the show.
Yeah,
that's exactly what they do.
Let us just go back and forth at each other.
Let's not easily be so distracted.
Yeah. Please keep your eyes on all the prizes, okay? Not just the one, dear God.
All right, wrap it up.
That's it. See, look at you. Now you want to talk about some wrap it up. On that note, guys, have a great night. God bless. Peace.
Take care.